40 countries across the world have banned animal testing for cosmetics, but South Africa isn't one of them. Ricky Gervais, Zac Efron, and Olivia Munn, and more stars star in Humane Society International's animated short film, #SaveRalph. Joining me in this conversation in our social newscast with me, Sam Marshall, is Joseph Mayson, who is the local spokesperson and campaign manager for Humane Society International Africa. Let's unpack this #SaveRalph. You know, when you read stuff like this, your blood boils. Talk to me about the campaign.
I think one of the most important aspects of this campaign is how unnecessary the cruelty is, and really that's why it really gets us so worked up, is because there's this intense cruelty where small defenseless animals really are forced to ingest poisonous substances. They're forced to endure a lot of pain and suffering from chemical burns to blinding by other chemicals being dropped into their eyes and left there, and all of the suffering is really unnecessary because there are so many alternative methods of testing. Of testing cosmetics. The alternatives range from tissues grown in petri dishes that can react in the same way as it would be if it was if that tissue was connected to an actual live animal. But in that alternative test, then you don't have an actual live animal feeling the pain, but the reaction is still the same. You have better computer modeling, and also we just have so many ingredients that are readily available and that have been proven to be safe. But there's actually no need to be testing new ingredients and new products really for cosmetics purposes. And the SaveRalph campaign sure, we've had an amazing amount of traction around the world, but especially in South Africa, actually. Seems really people are really getting behind this message that we can end cosmetics testing on animals in the near future. And SaveRalph has helped us a lot in that. We've got some celebrities involved: Zac Efron, Ricky Gervais, Taika Waititi, Olivia Munn. They're all featured in the film as voiceover artists. I think their involvement has really helped to amplify our voice. So it's extremely helpful.
40 countries across the world have banned animal testing, right? There's still a lot of work that you need to do with the rest of the world. But why are they so incredibly slow to understand that in actual fact it's just unusual cruelty? There's a ton of information out there. Their technology is caught up in remarkable ways. There's actually no need for animal testing on anything today.
I think the sticking point is often that there are these existing testing infrastructures and existing regulations, and people are unwilling, or they don't care. The people in power don't care enough to change these regulations and these existing infrastructures. And then there's a lot of pressure for some reason. It's unclear really why China still insists on testing many cosmetics products and ingredients on animals. But they're one of the only countries in the world that actually mandate that there has to be cosmetics testing on animals. A lot of countries leave it up to other the companies to decide whether to do that or not. Because China is such a massive market, a lot of companies end up then having to test on animals if they want to access that market. So each national ban is important, and with South Africa heading towards that direction to ban cosmetics testing on animals, we hope to just to be one more voice, punting for a global ban. cosmetics testing on animals.
Now, somebody like Ricky Gervais, I mean, if you're familiar with the brand, he's almost unbrand in many ways, that he's not a stereotypical actor, comedian, that in actual fact, he came to the industry quite late in life. So he's been very vocal. If you've watched any of his presentations about the power of celebrity and the role of celebrity, you've got a ton of famous people that have lent their voice, their support to it. Ricky, if you follow him, by the way, is an avid animal lover. But how important is the voice of the celebrity? Because they do come with an audience, but you don't also want to get distracted by the celebrity.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they've done an amazing job, in using their platforms to amplify our voices. They've obviously been involved on the actual video and in the creation of the video, but also sharing on their platforms and sharing our handles. So I'm sure many of your viewers will have actually seen it on their platforms rather than even on ours. And they've been really helpful in punting people to follow us on social media. And your supporters can your viewers can follow us at HSI Africa on Instagram, or Humane Society International Africa on Facebook. They've been instrumental in punting people towards signing our petitions as well, which is really what is going to get it over the line. We need as many petition signatures as possible, and it's with a few clicks of the button, anyone who is interested and who cares about ending cosmetics testing on animals can just go to hsi.org/SaveRalph, and that's RALPH. Ralph, and with a few clicks can sign our petition, and that'll really help us to engage with politicians and get the regulations that we need passed.
So explain something to me, Joseph, because I just want to understand this. If, according to a local poll, 90% of South African consumers support a ban on animal testing, you're already preaching to the converted. In 40 countries, it's already banned. But you've talked about territories like China where it's mandated. How does a campaign like this change what is law in a place like China?
Well, I think it just shows, that South Africa is very important actually as the largest cosmetics market in Africa. So if we aren't allowing cosmetics testing in our country, and as part of the regulations, we're also calling for a ban on the sale of cosmetics that have been tested on animals, which means that companies in China that would want to would want to sell their products in South Africa would have to test their products using other means, using non-animal, alternative, cruelty-free means. And so you're able to apply economic pressure in that way, and you're also able to apply political pressure, showing even South Africa if South Africa is able to do this, you as China, as this basically developed country or semi-developed country, should be able to follow suit in the same way.
Yeah, of course, there's 1 billion people there and only 55 million people here. Second last question, very quickly, for those that don't know what the short film is about, what is #SaveRalph about?
So it basically follows the life of a bunny in a testing lab, in a cosmetics testing lab, or more like a day in the life of a bunny in a cosmetics testing lab. It's sort of like a documentary format. If anybody's watched The Office, it's quite similar, where this like camera crew follows somebody around. It's very short though. It's only 4 minutes long. And it gives you a good idea of what actually goes on in the cosmetics testing arena without being too gory, or your kids can watch it definitely, but it's not going to give anybody nightmares, but it does show the truth of what happens.
Have you, as an international society, you being the campaign manager in South Africa, in Africa, Do you have a list of cosmetic brands and products that are currently doing animal testing? And is there a public name and shaming platform that people can log on to and check the brands so that we
Yeah.
can, as part of this new cancel culture, cancel those brands?
Yeah, we don't really subscribe to the name and shame sort of tactics. We rather try to bring people in, into the movement, and we found a lot of success there. So, and that's what HSI, sets us apart. We're partnering with some of the largest companies around the world. Unilever, P&G, Avon, Lush, L'Oreal, etc. And all of them are on board with our call for a global ban on cosmetics testing. So, that's unprecedented, when you've got such a large amount of industry support. So we stay away from the name and shame. What we do is we point people towards, various platforms where they can look up whether the cosmetics that they want are actually cruelty free. Not. Yeah. So I mean, you can assume that if a product is not on those lists include Leaping Bunny, Beauty Without Bunnies, Logical Harmony, Choose Cruelty Free. If a product is not on those lists, you can be pretty sure that it's tested on animals.